Hello chess fans and welcome to Chess 5. And in today's video we are going to see the game between Shakhriyar Mamedyarov versus Garry Kasparov. And today we are not only going to see a game, but today you are all going to learn a basic chess opening trap which will help you in the future games you will play. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching Chess 5. So all those who don't know Garry Kasparov have been the former world chess champion in the past. So obviously he's a very strong player, but now he has been old, around 60 plus age, and he have taken retirement from the chess. And if I talk about Shakhriyar Mamedyarov is still very young, and he's getting day by day very powerful and very nice at chess. So obviously it's basically like less experience versus more experienced player, but obviously age matters a lot. With age we have health issues and other stuff like that, so obviously, but still Garry Kasparov is still playing the tournament and we all liked it. So first of all, this game is from the Grand Chess Tour Croatia Rapid and Blitz 2021, and this game is going to be very interesting. So Shakhriyar Mamedyarov with the white pieces and Garry Kasparov with the black pieces. So let's start. So Shakhriyar Mamedyarov with the white pieces started with 1d4. We have the queen's gambit. We have d5 by Garry Kasparov. We have c4. Now we have d into c4. So we are in the queen's gambit accepted variation. Here we have e3 by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. The idea is very simple, keeping a very solid pawn chain and also hitting the pawn on c4 with the bishop. Now we have e5 by Garry Kasparov, a very nice move. And many players play in game of chess to try to trick their opponents. In this position, capturing up the pawn is not a good idea, because if you try to capture up the pawn, now we have queen into d1 check, and after king into d1, now we have knight to c6 by black, developing the piece and also hitting the pawn on e5. So white have to play f4 to protect the e5 pawn, but now we have bishop to e6 by black, protecting the pawn. And here black idea is very simple. He wants to long castle, give a check to white king, and actually black is the one who is better in this position. So that's why capturing up the pawn is not a very nice idea in this position. So that's why after e5, Shakhriyar Mamedyarov definitely knew this position, because many players play this position. I have also played this position many times. So after e5, we have knight to f3 by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, a very nice reply by white, defending the pawn on d4 and also attacking the pawn on e5 and also developing the piece on f3. So after knight f3, we have e into d4 by Garry Kasparov. We have bishop into c4 by Mamedyarov. Capturing up the d4 pawn is also definitely fine move, but Mamedyarov used a small trick. That's why I captured the pawn on c4. Here, all those who are thinking now black will capture up the pawn on e3, no, this is not the right move. If you try to capture up the pawn on e3, now let me show you one thing. In this position, white is totally winning, because now comes a very powerful move by white, which is bishop into f7 check. So here black is having two options. He can play king e7 or he can capture up the bishop. If you try to capture up the bishop, the queen is hanging on d8. So the fourth move for black is to play king to e7. But after king e7, you do not trade the queens, but you play queen to b3, the only move for white. And the idea of playing queen b3, you are keeping the pieces on the board, and you can see the king on e7 is very vulnerable and in the center, and the position is completely open, and this is completely winning position for white. He can capture up the pawn on e3, he can castle and play rook e1, and it's completely game over for black. So that's why capturing up the pawn on c4 was very nice idea by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. But obviously Garry Kasparov is not going to be tricked so easily. So after bishop into c4, Garry Kasparov played a very uneven move, which is knight to f6, and which was the blunder in this position. In this position, he could have played simply bishop to b4 check, and the idea of playing bishop to b4 check in this position here is, here white will play bishop to d2, trying to block the check. Here we have bishop into d2, queen into d2. Here we have knight to c6, knight into d4, knight into d4, Here we have e into d4, and after knight f6, it's a completely fine position for both the sides. But this is not what happened in the game. After bishop into c4, what black played is knight to f6 in this position, which was a blunder. So I'll give you a chance. Feel free to pause the video and try to find the best move for white in this position. I'll give you a couple of seconds. So all those who have found knight to g5 idea is very simple, right? To attack the pawn on f7. But sorry, this is not the right variation. If you play knight g5 in this variation, now comes a very powerful move by black. Here comes bishop to b4 check, and you have to defend the check by playing bishop to d2. And now we have bishop into d2 check, queen into d2, and here black will simply castle, and you can no longer attack the f7 pawn because rook is protecting and the king is also protecting the f7 pawn, and it's completely fine position, and black is even slightly better in this position. So that's why this move is not working. So that's why after knight f6 in this position, the right move, all those who have found queen to b3, kudos to you, because this is the right move, and this was played in the game by Mamedyarov. The idea of playing queen b3 is, here there is no bishop to b4 check, but yes, white is threatening bishop into f7. So black have to protect the f7 square. So Garry Kasparov played queen to e7, a very natural move in this position. He's protecting the f7 pawn, and this is the only move for black. So I'll give you one more chance. Try to find the best move for white in this position one more time, and there is the only single move for white which wins this position. So so all those who have now found knight g5, still it's not the right move. The idea knight g5 is still the wrong move, because now comes a very powerful move, which is queen to b4 check. Here you are having option, you can capture up the queen or you can play bishop to d2. Both the move doesn't make any difference. So let's check capture variation. After queen into b4, we have bishop into b4 check, bishop to d2, and after bishop into d2 check, knight into d2, and here black can simply castle, and f7 pawn is no longer attacked because rook and the king is protecting the pawn on f7. So that's why after queen to e7, knight g5 is not working. The right move, all those who have found castle in this position, I think you are very good at positional chess. You should go for it, because castle was played by Mamedyarov in this position, and the idea of playing castle in this position. After castle, can you try to guess Garry Kasparov's next move? I'll tell you that after castle, on the move number 7, Garry Kasparov with the black pieces resigned the game, and Shakhriyar Mamedyarov with the white pieces won the game. Then I think all of you were thinking that why Garry Kasparov resigned in this position. What is the reason? The reason behind Garry Kasparov's resignation is, here you can compare the position. White has successfully developed his knight, bishop and the queen, and even the king is also safe on g1. And if I talk about the black pieces, black king is still in the center. Black pieces haven't developed at all. The bishop on f8 will take long time to get developed, because you have to first pull your queen and then develop the bishop, and then you have to castle short. And if I talk about this position, first of all, you cannot move the c8 bishop because the pawn on b7 is hanging. You cannot move the queen on e7 because the f7 pawn is hanging. And if I talk about the white position is very simple and very easy to play. White idea is very simple. He can capture the d4 pawn, and he can play rook u1 attacking the king and the queen. And after capturing up the pawn, he can even play bishop to f4, knight to c3 or d2, and simply develop the position, and it's completely winning position for white. So if you try to open up this position in engines will also say that it's completely winning position for white. So this was the reason that Garry Kasparov resigned in this position. But okay, Garry Kasparov is old now, but okay, still it requires very willpower to play such big tournaments on all of the top players in this 60+ age. So kudos to Garry Kasparov. So if you like this game, and also this is a basic opening chess trap which I think you can also execute in your opponents while playing chess. So I think this will make your game much stronger than before. So if you like this game, then you can like the video, and if you are new to my channel, then you can subscribe to my channel. You can share this video with your friends and family members. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.